PlayStation VR 2 is out now, and a lot has changed in the 6 years since its predecessor was released. Virtual reality is still an interesting and exciting concept that is gradually becoming a little more accessible, although many still consider it a niche. With sleek looks, easier setup, and great technology, the PSVR 2 could be Sony's ticket to making virtual reality another element of many consumers' home entertainment setups. PSVR 2 comes out of the box, and the first thing you notice is how easy it is to unpack and install. PlayStation VR launched in 2016 with a decidedly untidy mess of wires and an underwhelming combination of hardware that could easily turn off potential owners. The PSVR 2 is even more stripped down. The headset comes with a USB-C charging cable, a pair of earbuds, 2 PlayStation Sense controllers, and a charging cable. In general, there are fewer components here than in some add-on versions of the game. Is PSVR 2 comfortable? The PSVR 2 headset is comfortable to wear, and the lens can be adjusted to suit different user needs. It also looks great on thick glasses, which are always a must for VR headsets. 4 cameras on the outside of the headphones act as room trackers, while the headphone jack and plastic rails are used to keep the sound in the right direction, giving the headphones plenty of room for size. The PSVR 2 USB-C cable is long enough to easily travel long distances to your TV. And all the furniture in a large entertainment room. It didn't feel too short at any point during testing. But like any good VR setup, users will want to make sure they can create enough space to avoid mishaps. The lightweight design of the headphones feels a bit flimsy at first, but with repeated use they are quite durable, and their weight advantage pays off over hours of sessions. The headphones fit easily around the neck and shoulders and do not cause discomfort for quite a long time playing, but sometimes a break is recommended. Another advantage of the design is the prevention of light leakage, which is not a problem if the headphones are adjusted optimally. With a panel resolution of 2000x2040 per eye and an OLED screen, the PSVR 2 looks great to use, and there will definitely be games that will benefit from the panel at launch. Horizon Call of the Mountain is the standout, yes, but the enhanced version of Star Wars, Galaxy's Edge is also great. The PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller is also a selling point for the hardware, with plenty of elegance in its bulky design. How the PSVR 2 Sense controller works. The most important element of the PSVR 2 Sense controller is that it is as light as the headset, which means that long hours of gaming will not be tiring. The grip takes some getting used to, but once it feels natural, the layout is intuitive and easy to use, and the design means players won't have to cling to the controller for fear of fumbling mid-game. The design really takes into account the small elements of VR gaming that only emerge after prolonged use of the product, such as being able to rest the controller comfortably on the wrist or an outstretched thumb, allowing the user to temporarily release their fingers. PlayStation VR 2 Sense has a simple 2-sided button layout per controller, with an analog stick on each side. The feedback from the controller is a nice addition to the games that will use it, though in testing it was more of an extra than a performer. The added dimension already embedded in the headphones and the slight resistance provided by the haptic feedback certainly blend beautifully. How does PSVR 2 work? Of course, all these design improvements won't mean much if the PlayStation VR 2 isn't a great device in practice. Fortunately, the hardware lives up to its aesthetic. Sony PSVR 2 is a great advancement in virtual reality technology. The way the PSVR 2 tracks eye movements is one of the immediately noticeable features. It feels almost instantaneous. In practice, this means a smoother gaming experience, while giving developers plenty of leeway to implement systems that rely on accurate tracking in the future. Eye tracking was accurate during long sessions, even when centered according to changes in sitting, standing posture. Another big leap between PSVR and PSVR 2 is the PlayStation VR 2 Sense controller's hand tracking. Other technologies have done this, but for PlayStation 5 owners, this is a huge upgrade. The hand and finger tracking is very accurate and is especially good in Call of the Horizon Hills, where the technology feels very accurate. No meaningful lag was experienced, which is a relief for those who suffered in the early days of the original PSVR. Loading a bow or breaking an arrow is extremely smooth. Is PSVR 2 worth it? It's hard to make a decision about PlayStation VR 2 without knowing more about how the developer will use its promising hardware. Virtual reality still feels like a space where innovation is happening fast, and there's still a lot of potential to be explored. But to say that PSVR 2 fixes many of PSVR's problems is an understatement, and it's clear that Sony has listened and learned from past hardware failures. Ultimately, PlayStation VR 2 feels and works like a dream. It's hard to match the polish of $550 hardware, and even that price point can mean it's still less accessible to potential users than it could be. Based on what's available at launch, PSVR 2 seems to have everything potential developers need to create truly stunning virtual reality software. Sony has established itself as a platform for this this magic, and it will be exciting to see what the company comes up with its brilliantly designed PlayStation VR 2. PlayStation VR 2 will be released on February 21, 2023. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and support my channel.